Hey, what up, everybody? Steve Breach coming to you, keeping up the gimmick of my last few videos. I make videos right before I was going to eat. The other day I was eating meatloaf and asparagus. This morning I'm going to be eating crepes. I don't know, my wife really likes to make crepes, but just not for me. But WWE Payback, here we go. Honestly, in my opinion, this pay-per-view will probably be good. But I don't think a lot of people are buzzed up to watch this. To me, Payback honestly feels like they've just sort of like brought back, what the hell was that pay-per-view that used to always run after WrestleMania? Backlash, where you would just like run the WrestleMania feuds over again. I know a lot of these aren't the WrestleMania feuds, but a lot of this sort of feels like the same shit that we've been watching for the last good while, and nothing really is jumping out at you. It's something that you really, really care about. Instead of just working the match all the way down, I was going to sort of shake it up from the beginning because there was one thing that I really wanted to get out and say that doesn't really make any sense. But in the first match, you had the Shield going up against Daniel Bryan against Randy Orton. A lot of people think that Daniel Bryan is supposed to be headlining the Money in the Bank pay-per-view next month and doing a rematch with John Cena at SummerSlam. It really makes no sense to me how he would go from this match to becoming, the number one contender. You normally don't work a tag team match for the tag team championships and then end up, making your way over there. I don't know if they're going to run some sort of a tournament maybe that he would win to become the number one contender, or just some normal match and he would come out of it and win. It's sort of like how CM Punk won the right to fight The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29. Just sort of magically happened on a Monday Night Raw match with no build-up, no appeal, no nothing. Just, all right, let's get this over with and let's just start working the angle. But honestly, in my opinion, a lot of people have been looking for Randy Orton to turn heel for a long, long time. And in order for Daniel Bryan to get to that match where he's going to face John Cena, I know they've done face versus face matches before, but they never really work out that well. Daniel Bryan's going to have to get to a point where he turns heel, which means Daniel would have to turn on Randy Orton. If you do this sort of a heel turn in this match where Daniel Bryan is the one who actually, I guess hits his finisher or clocks Orton with something to that effect, sort of like how Orton, I guess we thought, turned on Daniel Bryan on SmackDown last week, hit him with the RKO. It just, wouldn't Randy Orton want a rematch or, want some sort of a match to just sort of get something out of this, I guess you can say, and wouldn't it piss Kane off that his partner turned heel? But maybe they've already just left that team in the dust. They've already had enough of an ending on that with just them losing the title. So this whole thing just really doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, in my opinion, the Shield is gonna lose as a team one day. They've had their little time where they've looked awesome with the titles. I really like all three members of the Shield. I think they look really cool. I love their style. Roman Reigns is having matches where he's actually getting to a point where he looks really good, and it's not just all smoke and mirrors around it. Everybody knows that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose can really work, but honestly, in my opinion, the storyline that's growing is that instead of having Daniel Bryan and Kane and Team Hell No, you have them win the titles and become sort of a group that hates each other and wants to basically stab each other in the back, but they keep accidentally winning these matches and having the titles. And they've done this before, recently, with the tag championships, and I don't know who it was with, where the people didn't want to be teamed together, but well, fuck it. I don't know. I think that's what they're going to be doing. I just don't see how Daniel Bryan's going to magically end up in the main event of Money in the Bank and SummerSlam wrestling for the title against John Cena. In my opinion, I think somebody might have leaked that out, so you can get to the point with John Cena and Ryback, where I think Ryback's actually going to win the title. It was kind of weird how they named they're going to have this match, and then all of a sudden they're already naming who the next person who John Cena is going to fight is for the championship. So honestly, I want to see it. I think it would be awesome. Ryback is definitely a guy that's worked his way to the top, and he's gone from a guy that everybody loved to everybody hated, pretty much very easily. And they have it set up in the 3 stages of hell match, where I think basically Ryback can win 2 of these matches without embarrassing John Cena and making him look bad, and us seeing the fire in his eyes to make us want to buy the next pay-per-view when these guys go at it again. I'm not sure, if he's gonna Ryback's gonna clean house and win the last two, and maybe Cena win the lumberjack match. But honestly, I'm really looking for the Shield to get involved in the tables match somehow. When you have a tables match and the table is sort of like the Shield's gimmick, it's sort of like if you went back to the Attitude Era and you had a tables match and it didn't involve the Dudleys. It just didn't really make that much sense. That was their deal. If you have a tables match, you're basically saying, "Hey, Shield, come on down here. We need your help." So I am picking Ryback to win the belt there. In the pre-show match, I think it's pretty obvious that Sheamus is going to beat Damian Sandow. A whole bunch of build-up. I can't believe all the stuff they did on Monday Night Raw, all the stuff they did on SmackDown in order to put this on the pre-show. Doesn't make much sense. I've been having a lot of verbal debate with my good friends, Freaking 88, Jim 686, and Ravi, Assault and Battery 777, about this Chris Jericho versus CM Punk match. Everybody's sort of guessing how long this match is going to go. In my mind, this match is probably going to get less than 10 minutes, but I've heard it go anywhere from 20 to 35 from talking to those. Obviously, Jim Nye is in the 35-minute bracket, but I just honestly would be really, really surprised. I can see by looking at this card that it is the second biggest match they have, and I just don't know if it's the second biggest match that people care about. CM Punk hasn't been on TV since WrestleMania. He hasn't done anything to build up his feud. It's all been Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's promo on Monday Night Raw lets you know that something more than likely is going to happen out of this match. It's not just going to be a throwaway wrestling match. But I don't know. I'm not really expecting a whole lot out of this match. But some people are saying WWE even posted up a Monday Night Raw match from like 2009 that I guess they say was like an instant classic from back in the day, but I didn't remember it. I'll pick CM Punk to win this match. Jericho's in the state of his career where he's putting everybody over. CM Punk's coming back. He lost at freaking Rumble, Chamber, Mania. I don't really see him taking a hiatus and coming back and losing his first match. That's just me, and that's just pretty obvious. Wade Barrett versus Curtis Axel versus The Miz. I don't think Curtis Axel's walking out as the champion. Some people say that he'll walk out. The winner, though, with a disqualification win somehow, just to make him look good. But I don't know how one guy can get disqualified out of the match. Like, let's say The Miz hits Curtis Axel with the belt. Does Wade Barrett just get the shaft in that, and Curtis Axel just doesn't get the win? A DQ finish honestly doesn't make much sense. I could see Curtis Axel getting to the point where he's actually wrestling and he's about to actually win the match. Maybe even Heyman cheats for him, he's about to win the match, and Triple H just comes out and changes the outcome. Not like, you can't win, like, coming out and just grabbing his boot, tripping him up where he falls down. Miz scoops him up and gets the quick pin, and he's the new Intercontinental Champion. I see something like that happening because, honestly, in my opinion, if anybody's going to wrestle Triple H, it's going to be Curtis Axel. I don't think anybody's going to see the McMahons actually get in the ring and battle it out. Dean Ambrose going up against... I almost said that they wouldn't fight each other because they're family, but if Vince is going to fight fucking Stephanie, he's going to fight anybody. Dean Ambrose against Kane. I just don't see Kane wearing the United States Championship. I go back in the days when he was the Intercontinental Champion, and that just looked freaking retarded. I thought that it was very stupid, and a guy like him doesn't need to have that. He looked pretty cool, in a tag team with the tag team championship for a real long time, but him just having some sort of mid-card title makes no sense, and I don't want the Shield to be having no titles at all. But maybe it would turn their outcome where they would show up on Monday Night Raw where they had gold for a month, and now they don't have anything. Like they sort of have to restart over and just start from the beginning. Caitlyn versus AJ Lee is a match that was rumored for WrestleMania that we didn't get. I think I'd be stupid not to pick AJ Lee to win the championship somehow. The deck is stacked against her. I don't think Ziggler's going to be involved in this match, but definitely Big E will be out there. And you can see the tide shifting. Maybe even Dolph Ziggler moves away from the AJ character and Big E and just becomes his own guy, and then there's a new team that becomes of AJ and Big E with the Monday Night Raw skit. From looking at WWE.com, something big happens on SmackDown, but I'm not sure what it was. But Caitlyn does something over the top where I guess she gets suspended. No, we're not suspended, but fined. You can't suspend her because you need her for the pay-per-view because she's booked. Then the World Heavyweight Championship. This is gonna be pretty easy. I just sent my video, my I sent a small video over at HBK Fan 25 for a group prediction video, so make sure you check that out. Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio. In my opinion, Del Rio is not going to win this match, because if they wanted to put the title on Dolph Ziggler, they would have done it last month when he was hurt, and they needed to be able to they put Del Rio and Swagger in that ladder match for the #1 contendership. And no, it wasn't a ladder match. It was an I Quit match. They put him in the I Quit match, and it developed who was going to be, fighting Ziggler at the next pay-per-view. They would have just stripped him, made Del Rio versus Swagger a championship match, and then they would have just had the championship change hands there. I mean, if they were able to let Ziggler sit on the sidelines for a month and not defend his title, then they want to keep the title on him. So, in the words of Tito Santana, arriba!